Namaskaram. I am Dr. Rupa, Faculty of Botany, Telangana Social Welfare Residential Armed Forces Preparatory Degree College for Women, Bongiri. How are you all? I hope all of you fine at home. It's a panic situation ever faced before. The entire world is suffering from one and only one enemy, fighting with invisible enemy, that is corona. As we know, corona is causing the disease COVID-19. The disease is day by day spreading more and more, and it become pandemic in the world. And how the virus is spreading and why the virus is becoming day to day potent. What type of genetic material it have? Because it has a genetic material RNA. The RNA is unstable RNA. The catching of the RNA genome or genetic information become very difficult. That's why the preparation and discovery of the vaccine also becoming day to day late and late. Because of genetic RNA, corona is becoming more potent. So what is genetic RNA? The genetic RNA means RNA itself replicated and it is heritable. On the other hand, non-genetic RNAs also there. What are they? Non-genetic RNAs are three types. What are they? They are three types. One is messenger RNA, next one is transfer RNA and ribosomal RNA. Messenger RNA. The messenger RNA can carry the information. What type of information it carry? So it carry the information of DNA genetic information. And transfer RNA, it useful for the carrying of amino acids towards the protein synthesis machinery, that is ribosome. What is rRNA? rRNA is nothing but of ribosomal RNA. How they are prepared? They are prepared by the process that is called as transcription. So transcription. What is transcription? Transcription is nothing but of preparation of RNA from DNA. How it take place and what are the features it have? By the end of this class, everyone should know about what is transcription and what are the features it have, what are the components are needed for the preparation of RNAs, and how the transcription process will be taken on both prokaryotes and eukaryotes, and what are the post-transcriptional changes, and what are the applications using it day to day. So let us start the transcription. Before going to the transcription, we should know about the central dogma of life. What is central dogma of life? Of course, it is told as central dogma of molecular biology. So what is central dogma? The central dogma of molecular biology means it is a flow of genetic information from DNA to RNA, RNA to protein. It means DNA having the genetic information that is expressing in the form of the proteins, so via RNAs. So by preparing the RNAs. So here the total central dogma is started with the DNA. DNA having the basically two functions. One is itself prepares. It means DNA prepared from DNA, that is called replication, autocatalysis, and DNA also prepares the RNAs, so that is heterocatalysis. By these two functions, DNA is acting as a genetic material as well as it is involved in the gene expression. So the RNAs are prepared by the process that is transcription. And from RNAs, what is the information passed on to the RNA, that is in the form of codons. So the codons can decodes the amino acids for the preparation of the proteins. The process is called a translation. The entire phenomena is called central dogma of molecular biology. Who discovered it? Who proposed it? It was first proposed by the scientist Francis Crick in the year of 70. So later it go for the many modifications. So what are the modifications? In the year of 1917, scientist Temin and also let us see the transcription, let us see the central dogma of life. So here the DNA, from DNA the RNA is synthesized, RNA to proteins are synthesized. So the formation of RNA from DNA is called transcription. Transcription. According to the Crick, so the transcription is unidirectional. The transcription is unidirectional, DNA to RNA. But later, the Temin scientists were discovered that some of the viruses are, the genetic information is passing reverse. So you see here, from RNA to DNA also the genetic information is passed. So it means the transcription will be taken as reverse, that is called as a reverse transcription. So this is discovered by scientist Temin, hence it is called as a Teminism. So this is the process transcription, and here you are seeing reverse transcription. The reverse transcription depend on to the polymerase enzyme. So the polymerase enzyme is DNA polymerase enzyme. From RNA to DNA is synthesizing here. Okay, so the polymerase is called, the enzyme is called reverse transcriptase. Reverse transcriptase. So it is a RNA dependent DNA polymerase. RNA dependent DNA polymerase. So coming to the, in the case of corona, so finding of it means corona diagnosis. How the corona diagnosis going on means, so ICMR identified or proven the one test that is called as a RT-PCR test, reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reaction test. In this test, the fundamental reaction is, that is based on the reverse transcription. So RNA is basically unstable in coronavirus. The unstable coronavirus is making as a stable by making of DNA. It means by transforming of DNA. By this process, the process is called reverse transcription. So what is the enzyme is used here? The enzyme is used here is reverse transcriptase enzyme. So here the DNA is synthesizing, that's why the using of enzyme is DNA polymerase, that is depends on to the RNA, that's why it is called as a RNA dependent DNA polymerase. Okay, so what is central, what is the total concept of the central dogma of molecular life means? From DNA to RNA, RNA to proteins, the genetic information is carried out. Why protein synthesis is important? Because our body depends on protein synthesis. Every biological activity is depends on proteins. They are structurally and functionally important. Their preparation is most important for body because they are building blocks of the body. So it means the DNA information is expressed in the form of protein. It complete phenomena also called as gene expression. Gene expression. So let us start the transcription. So what are the features of the transcription? Basically the transcription is, it is a biological process. So transcription is a biological process. It depends on to the complementarity base pairing rule. Transcription is formation of RNAs from the DNA. How they are forming means based on the complementarity base pairing. So what is this complementarity base pairing? When you see the language of the DNA, that is made with 4 letters. What are the 4 letters? The first letter is A. So that is called as a adenine. Adenine. So GCT. It means what are the nucleotides are present onto the DNA? They are said as in the letters of A, G, C, T. For learning of English language, we should know about the 26 letters. But here, to know about the language of the DNA, we should know about these 4 letters A, G, C, T. Adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine. So, purines and pyrimidines. So, the purines are always complementary to the pyrimidines. So, the A is always binding with the thymine. It means adenine is always binding with the thymine, as well as the cytosine is always binding with the guanine. So, you see here the vice versa reaction. So, A to T and T to A. Adenine to thymine, thymine to adenine, and guanine to cytosine and cytosine to guanine. So, between these the pairing is done. So, the pairing is based on complementation. So, the rule is called complementarity base pair. In the coming to the case of RNA, there is a 4 alphabets. Of course, the language of RNA A, G, C, U. So, adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil. Instead of the thymine, there is a uracil is present, right? So, here also there is a complementarity between the base pairs. Those are purines and pyrimidines. A is bonded with U, there is a vice versa bonding, and G is always C and C is always G. So, you see here the information is coding, the coding information is transforming from the DNA to RNA in the form of base pair, in the form of complementary base pairing. The transcription is highly selective. Why it is highly selective? If you see in the case of DNA replication, the formation of the new DNA, that is completely depends onto the template DNA. It means what is the information present onto the DNA that is completely copied onto the daughter DNA or newly forming DNA. But in the case of transcription, the complete, it means the entire DNA sequences are not copied onto the newly formed RNAs. The selective segments are worked as a transcriptional unit. Those are transcribed onto the mRNA. That's why it is highly selective. So, those segments are give the signals to the enzymes. Enzymes can catalyze the reaction of transcription. So, that's why it is a highly selective. So, what is happening here? The genetic information is copied, but the selective genetic information is copied. That's why it is highly selective. If you see in the case of transcription, how the genetic flow is there? So, genetic flow is always unidirectional. So, always unidirectional means, so in the general case it is unidirectional, but coming to the viruses, that is exception. But here you are seeing, so DNA to RNA formation, that is unidirectional, and it is always enzymatically controlled. What is the enzyme is used here means, the used enzyme is RNA polymerase enzyme. So, what is enzyme? This is helpful for polymerization of the ribonucleotides. Basically RNA. What is RNA? RNA is nothing but of ribonucleotides. There is a polymerization of the nucleotides according to the DNA complementarity. So, here the complete phenomena is depends on to the enzyme. The enzyme is called RNA polymerase enzyme. Once again, what are the features we see in means, it is a biological process, it is depends on to the complementarity base pairing, the genetic information is copied highly selectively, and it is unidirectional, and it is enzymatic controlled. And next, where the transcription taken place? The transcription is taken place, if you see the living organisms, according to the presence of the nucleus, so there are two types, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So we see the transcription in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. In the case of prokaryotes, the transcription is taken place in the cytoplasm. Why it is taken there? Because the nucleus is absent. It means the prominent nucleus is absent. What is the genetic material that is present in the cytoplasm, that is embedded in the cytoplasm, that is called as genophore. On the DNA, the transcription will be taken. So it means in prokaryotes, the site of the transcription is cytoplasm. But coming to the eukaryotes, there are three different RNAs are there. They are formed in the nucleus. So in the nucleus means tRNA, mRNA, both are formed at DNA, but coming to the rRNA, that is formed at nucleolus. And for the preparation of the RNA, some of the components are needed. What are the components? The components are simply we are telling in the form of transcriptional machinery. So what are the transcription machinery are required for the continuation for the transcription? One is DNA template. So it is the most and prerequisite component for the transcription, that is DNA template. Next, transcriptional unit. So it includes promoter, and RNA polymerase is necessary, and transcriptional factors also important for the making of transcription, making synthesis of RNA, and here ribonucleotides are most important because RNA is nothing but of ribonucleotide. Next, coming to the template DNA. What is template DNA? Where the transcription is taking place, the DNA strand is called template. Generally, the DNA is double-stranded DNA. So, after unwinding of the DNA, one of the strand of the DNA only involved in the transcription. At a time, both strands are not involved in the transcription. So, what is the strand is involving in the transcription, that is called template DNA. So, you are seeing here two double-stranded DNA. So, dsDNA. So, the dsDNA is made with the two strands. One is called as template strand. This strand is involved in the transcription. The information is transcribing onto the mRNA. And another strand is complementary to the template DNA. The strand is called coding strand. So, why it is coding strand? So, after the completion of the transcription, there is a formation of RNA. The formed RNA is identical to the coding strand. You see here, you observe the genetic information or DNA sequences, nucleotide sequences. So, those are similar to the coding strand, except of thymine is replaced by the uracil. It means, what is the working strand that is for transcription, that is called template strand, and complementary strand for it, that is called as coding strand. The coding strand is identical to the mRNA, so except of the place of the thymine, the uracil is present. And if you observe the template DNA, there is a starting point. So, what is starting point? Where the transcription is initiated, the point is called starting point. That means initiator. So, the initiator is having the right side region and left side region. So, the right side region of the initiator is called upstream region and left side is called downstream region. The upstream region is said as, it represented with -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, so on. And coming to the downstream level, so +1, +2, +3, +4, so on. So, let us see. So, transcription unit. So, what is transcription unit? So the segment which is transcribed into the mRNA. So the transcribing segment of DNA is called transcription unit. The transcription unit strictly have the switch on and also switch off regions. So switch on, switch off regions for what? So for transcription. So you see here it is a double stranded DNA. Here we place the segment of the DNA. The segment may be single gene or multiple gene. In prokaryote, it made with multiple genes, set of genes, hence it is called as a polycistronic unit. So the polycistronic transcriptional unit is present in prokaryote, whereas in eukaryote, it made with the single gene, hence it is called monocistronic unit. So the segment is strictly having the promoter region, terminator region and structural genes. Structural genes means these are the genes involved in the transcription. So this area is transcribing area. And you are seeing here it is at starting point. It is most important point. It is represented with +1. And also you see here the starting point is +1. And from +1 there is an upstream region towards the right side. So those are represented with -1, -2, -3, -4, so on. And this is the region downstream. It means from promoter region the transcription will be initiated. It means RNA polymerase can bind to here. Once it bind to here, it can switch on. Okay, so the switch on condition, it continued by the transcriptional genes. When it is reached onto the terminator region, the transcription will be switched off. Okay, so here the transcribing, it means the movement of RNA polymerase is 3' to 5'. And the formation of the transcription that will be extended towards to 5' to 3'. Okay, this is about the transcription unit. So we know about the transcription unit, that is monocistronic unit in eukaryotes and polycistronic unit in prokaryotes. So let us see prokaryote in promoters in prokaryotes. So this is the DNA. So already we seen in the previous slide. So it is having the starting point and it is the promoter region and terminator region. When you zoom the promoter region is always lie upstream region, adjacent to the upstream region. So that is having the two important components. So those are made with the conservative base pairs. So consensus sequences, those two segments are called as -10 region and -35 region. You observe here the +1 is the starting point. So below the +1 here -10 and -35 regions are there. These two segments are highly conserved segments. So the -10 region is called Pribnow box and it represented with base pairs TATAAT, and -35 it having the capital T TGACA. So this is recognition site. Between these two the spacers also there. So you observe here between the starting point and the Pribnow box point. So here the space is there. So this space is called intertwining spaces. These not important for the coding, and it is also intertwining sequence. Between these two the space is almost plus 18 BP. So this is about the promoter in prokaryote. So the +1 is the starting point. It is rich with purines, especially it rich with the guanine. Rarely it also having the adenine. And either side of the G there is a combination of C and T. It means it is rich with the purine. The starting point is rich with the purine in prokaryotes. And coming to the eukaryotes. In eukaryotes how the promoters are there. So basically in prokaryotes 3 types of the RNAs are prepared by the single RNA polymerase. that need only one promoter. But in this case, here 3 types of the RNAs are prepared by the 3 types of the polymerases, RNA polymerases, but they require the different combination of the promoter regions. So, RNA polymerase 1, RNA polymerase 2 and RNA polymerase 3. RNA polymerase 1 is meant for the synthesis of rRNA, and 2 is for mRNA, and 3 is for tRNA. Let us see first RNA polymerase 1. So, if you observe here, the plus point is here and plus 20 at downstream region, and promoter region is at minus 45 level. And in the case of RNA polymerase 3, so this is the exceptional case, because here only starting point and what are the consequences boxes are present in downstream level. And coming to the RNA polymerase 2, here the plus 1 is present as starting point, that is act as an initiator site, and below it, so minus 30 base pairs, minus 30 region, that is Tata box. What is Tata box? Tata box is nothing but it is homologous to the Pribno box of the prokaryotes. And additionally, regulatory boxes are there. Those are CAT box and GC box. So, this is about the eukaryotic promoters. And coming to the RNA polymerases. So, the enzyme required for the transcription, that is called RNA polymerase. So, you are seeing the RNA polymerase in prokaryotes. How is it? It made with 2 components. One is core complex, another one is sigma factor. So, the core compound is having the 4 subunit in E. coli. But species to species, the core complex having the subunits are different. The Pseudomonas subtilis is having the 7. And you are seeing the E. coli. So, the E. coli is having the subunits of 4. So, those are alpha and alpha prime, beta and beta prime. So, what are the function of them? So, they work their unique activity. So, during the opening of DNA, those are most important. Alpha and alpha prime, they work for screening of the promoter region. It means they go and screen the promoter region and also helping in the RNA polymerase assembly. And whereas beta and beta prime, those two are important for catalytic activity. So, that is about core complex. And coming to the sigma factor. So, the sigma factor is, it is an essential factor for the initiation of transcription. It can screen the promoter region, and also it is tightly bound to the promoter region, and it involved in the initiation of the transcription. So, by assembly of these 2 components, the hollow enzyme, the complete enzyme is formed, that is working enzyme, that is active enzyme, that is called as a RNA polymerase. And in eukaryotes, there are 3 types of RNAs, rRNA, mRNA and tRNA. These are scrutinized by the 3 different enzymes. rRNA is for RNA polymerase 1 and mRNA for RNA polymerase 2, tRNA for RNA polymerase 3. You see here, they do not have the sigma factor. For how the initiation will be taken, they take the another protein's help. Those are called transcriptional factors. And the core complex are present. The subunits of the core complex belongs to the enzymes. Those are different. So, again they are classified into 3 classes based on their sensitivity on alpha amanitin. What is alpha amanitin? It is a fungal taxane. When the application of the fungal taxane, how they are reacting. So, RNA polymerase 1 is very resistant to the alpha amanitin, and 2 is very sensitive to it, and 3 is moderately sensitive to it. And they have the core complex, it means the subunits are different in number and they have their own functioning. Next, What is the next important components for the transcription? They are transcriptional factors. So, as sigma factor in prokaryotes, here no sigma factor in eukaryotes. How the initiation is taken means with the help of soluble proteins, those are called transcriptional factors. Basically, transcriptional factors are two types: general transcription factors and regulatory transcriptional factors. The general transcription factors can enhance the activity of initiation, but regulatory factors are, they may enhance or repress the transcription. You are seeing here the different types of the transcriptional factors belongs to the RNA polymerase II. And transcriptional factor 2D. So, how they are assembling to the promoter region. According to that, I given here the first assembling the transcriptional factor to the promoter region, that is TF2D, then followed by TF2A, TF2B, TF2F, TF2E, TF2H. So, what are the functions they are doing? TF2E is first it screen or it recognize the promoter region. First it bind to the promoter region, and once it binds, the stability is given by the adding of the TF2A and TF2B. It can recruit the TF2F. So, TF2F is involved in the recruitment of RNA polymerase II enzyme, and TF2E that also recruits the TF2H. What is the H activity? H is acting as a helicase activity. Next component is ribonucleotide. So, what are the ribonucleotides? Adenosine triphosphate, guanine triphosphate, cytosine triphosphate, uracil triphosphate. The important secret for the instability of RNA is here. So, how means? Here the ribonucleotides are having the pyrimidines as well as purine rings and ribose sugar. So, the ribose sugar is represented with the formula it having C5H10O5, and at the place of second carbon it have the hydroxyl group. So, because of that hydroxyl group, it go for the self hydrolysis. That's why it is denatured very immediately. Compared to the DNA is having the deoxyribose sugar. It means at the second carbon of the ribose there is an absence of the oxygen, that giving to the more stability. But coming to the case of the RNA, the ribose sugar is having the second carbon. At that carbon the hydroxyl group is present. It is self hydrolysis, it having the self hydrolysis activity. That's why the RNA is unstable. So, what are the ribonucleotides are most important for the synthesis of RNA? So, those are adenosine triphosphate, guanine triphosphate, cytosine triphosphate and uridine triphosphate. And so, we seen the different components required for the transcription. And coming to the transcription in prokaryote, how it taken place. So, it started with the binding of RNA polymerase II promoter, and it involves in the opening of DNA unwinding, DNA opening, and there is a initiation, elongation and termination. So, transcription in prokaryotes. So, how the binding is taken place? So, as we know, the DNA is double stranded DNA. The double stranded DNA should open as single strand because one of the strands of the DNA is acting as a template DNA. So, we required only template DNA for the transcription. For opening, so the RNA polymerase is required. You see here, the first core complex that can bind onto the RNA promoter region. Sometimes it may also join onto the other than the promoter region. It means it show the low affinity of the bonding with DNA. Once a sigma factor is bonded with the core factor, it becomes a strong affinity. And you are seeing the RNA polymerase. The RNA polymerase approximately it can occupy 6 to 7 base pairs of the RNA at promoter region. Once sigma factor is binded onto the core factor, it moves towards the Pribnow box. At that point, the DNA will be unwinded. Means here the core factor of the, it means the subunit of the core factor, that is beta prime, it involved in the opening of the double stranded DNA by digesting of the diester bonds. So once it opens, the transcription will be initiated. So you see here, before that, once the RNA polymerase is binded to the DNA without opening of the case, the complex is called as closed complex. But you see here, the DNA is opened and the RNA polymerase is in working condition. This complex is called opened complex. So the RNA polymerase work for the RNA synthesis. The sigma factor is work as an initiator. How is it is initiating? By incorporation of the ribonucleotides according to the template DNA. This complete reaction is depends on to the energy in the form of ATP. Sometimes there is a trials also. So this trial is very common in both eukaryotes and prokaryotes. What is trial? So one or two nucleotides when are joined onto the promoter region, when they are started as a RNA transcript, they can aborted. So why they are aborted? To check the RNA quality, the first formed RNA transcripts are eliminated. So in that condition, so the RNA polymerase is removed, another RNA polymerase can continue the further step. So that is called initiative abortion. So abortive initiation. So the promoter is cleared by the debris of the RNA polymerase as well as non-qualified RNA. So that is called promoter clearance. That will be taken 1 to 2 seconds in prokaryotes. Then once initiation is proceeds, the sigma factor, no use of the sigma factor. So the sigma factor again rejoins with other core complex of the RNA polymerase. The sigma factor is dissociated with the core complex. Hence this cycle is called sigma cycle. You see here, the sigma factor is only helpful for the initiation of DNA, initiation of the transcription. So that's why the cycle is called sigma cycle. And this complex you are seeing in open complex, and here is a formation of a transcript, new transcript. This complex is called ternary complex. So closed complex, opened complex and ternary complex. And next, elongation is continued by the core complex only. How the elongation is carried out? So beta subunit of the core complex can continue the unwinding of the DNA. RNA polymerase core complex is moving towards the 3' to 5' direction, and the RNA, it means ribonucleotides are incorporated according to the template information, and there is a extension of RNA. So towards the 5' to 3' direction. When the DNA is unwinding, at both sides the negative coils are formed. So those coils are called as supercoils. Those coils are cleared by Gyrase enzyme. So it means sometimes Gyrase enzyme also can determine the rate of the elongation. And next, termination. How the termination is taken? So already we seen. So the switch on factor is promoter. The switch off factor is here terminator. So when the RNA polymerase reached onto the termination, that give the signals for the termination. What happened in termination? In termination, there is a pausing of the transcription and there is a removal of RNA, newly formed RNA, that is called as primary transcript. In prokaryotes, that is in two types. One is row independent termination and row dependent termination. What is this row? The row is called as a protein. So what is this protein? It is a hexamer protein. So what is the function of it? It can go for the termination. How it go for the termination? Just have a look here. So here the row factor is added with the primary transcript and it moved on the primary transcript. It reached onto the this level. It means transcriptional site. Once it reached onto the transcriptional site, so there the termination is taken. So it means self-termination capacity had by the RNA. So when row protein is present. And next, another type of the termination is there. The termination is called row independent termination. So row independent termination, here row protein is not involved. So here the mRNA is having the self-splicing by formation of hairpin loop. How the hairpin is forming? You see here, when the transcription is going on, so the elongation is continued. So there is a one long strand of the adding of the guanine and cytosine, which are the complementary base pairs. Side by side they are came. So once they are came the side by side, between them the attraction is taken place. So that made between them the bonding. You see here. So these are the G and C. So between them the bonds are formed. Because of that bonding, they stretched as in the form of hairpin loop, and that will be supported by A and U also, adenine and uracil. And at the same way, the long stretch of adding of poly U's, so those are bonded with the antisense strand, that is coding strand. Where they are forming a template strand, but they are binding with the antisense strand, that is coding strand. So because of this also, the pausing of the termination will be taken, and once the pause is taken, the RNA transcript will be removed. So this is called row dependent termination. So what are the steps involved in transcription? First, binding of the promoter, binding of the RNA polymerase to the promoter region. It involves in the opening of the DNA, and there is a initiation, there is a sigma cycle, and later elongation and termination. But in prokaryotes, there is a coupled transcription and translation rule. So what is that? So in E. coli, the formed RNA, that is called primary transcript, that will be remain in 5 minutes only. Within 5 minutes, it go for the translation. Otherwise, it go for the denaturization. That's why without immediate of the transcription, there is a following of the translation. But you are coming to here in the transcription in eukaryotes. Transcription. Here the factors are involved. So what are the factors here? Different factors, TF2D. So their incorporation by one by one, there is a formation of pre-initiation complex that promotes opening of the DNA, and it is also giving the strength to the RNA polymerase. Once DNA is opened, the RNA transcript is formed, they are eliminated. Only the remained one is transcriptional factors 2H. And what are the post-transcriptional changes? So the formed eukaryotic transcript, the transcript is called as primary transcript. It is also called as heterogeneous transcript, heterogeneous RNA. It is a precursor RNA. It go for the maturation. How it go for the maturation? Because it having the important sequences and unimportant sequences. So it means coding sequences and non-coding sequences. They are having the coding sequences. Those coding sequences are called exons. So the coding sequences are important for the coding of protein synthesis. But otherwise there is a intertwining sequences, those are called introns. So the elimination of the introns, the joining of the remaining exons, then form only matured RNA. The matured RNA work for the protein synthesis. You see here, three important post-transcriptional changes are there. First one is capping, next is splicing and polyadenylation. At the 5' it is added with the cap. What is cap? Why we use the cap? The cap is give the protection, stability. So what is the cap? Cap is nothing but of 7 guanosyl methionine. And here the polyadenylation means adding of polyase, so that is called as a tail. So adding of tail also giving stability to the RNA. So it takes place only in eukaryotes because of adding of cap and polyadenines, so it becomes stable, and because of the splicing of the introns, those are unnecessary uncoding regions are eliminated or removed, only coding sequences are remained, then only the RNA is become matured. So this is about the RNA transcription. Let us see the questions, how the questions are. Which test has been using for the diagnosis for novel coronavirus SARS-CoV-2 in India? So what is that? So the answer is RT-PCR. So what is RT-PCR? So the kit is prepared based on this technology, reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction. What happened here? So after collection of the swab from the patient, so the RNA is unstable. So the collected RNA is stored in the ice, then taken into the laboratory. At laboratory, they isolate the RNA, and immediately the isolated RNA is converted into the DNA. The form of DNA is in single strand. By screening of the DNA, we can know the genetic profile of that particular virus. So that is RT-PCR. But from yesterday, so another test also using, what is the test? The test is rapid antibiotic test. So that is serological test. So the antibiotics are released because of the virus infection. Those are collected from the blood, and by screening of those, so the preliminary test, so the virus is present or not. So the determination will take place. And next question. So which of the following antibiotic inhibit the transcription by binding DNA at initiation complex? So the application of antibiotics, what they do? So they stop the transcription. How they are stopping the transcription? So here question asked binding DNA at initiation complex. So the answer is rifampicin. So the rifampicin can inhibit the activity of beta prime core complex of the RNA polymerase. What is the function of it? So catalysis is breakdown. It means the RNA, so the DNA is unwinded condition. So in the unwinded condition, there is no moving of the RNA polymerase, there is no adding of the ribonucleotides, there is no formation of RNA. And next, which of the following transcription termination technique has RNA dependent ATPase activity? So what are they? So options are intercalating agents, Rho dependent, Rho independent, rifampicin. So Rho dependent, so the RNA dependent ATPase activity. So Rho is the protein, it shows the activity, that is RNA dependent ATPase activity. And which cation is placed in the catalysis subunit of RNA polymerase? Options are Zn+2, Mn+2, Mg+2, Fe+2. So the most important cofactor, that is Mg+2. The Mg+2 is required for the assembly of core factors of RNA polymerase. So I request all, this is a very serious condition, it is a panic condition. All of you stay home, stay safe. Thank you.